Georgia Tech fans, welcome to Up with the White and Gold. He's GaTechJon Watt. I'm Jeremy the Impact York. We're here to talk all things Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket football. As always, I want to start by saying, how's it going, bud?
I'm doing all right. It's a fairly calm weekend. Nice little trip up to the mountains. Uh, I say calm. There was nothing about competitions that are calm, and this one lived up to not being calm. Got
Uh,
had to make sure I didn't have to bail someone out of jail. So that's no.
Not
Some
this
people
time.
I do
Nope. He's
no.
actually never bailed me out of jail. I like to keep it that way.
Yeah, never had to. So it's good. But yeah. I mean, it is what it is. Things happen. Things get a little heated, and then we move along. But outside of that, yeah, it's been
It's
been
such
pretty
is the
calm,
life of high school marching band.
right?
I tell people all the time, sure people make jokes about it, but if you ever lived that life, even for a season, let alone four, uh, the things people make up and think they know are not even a kick in the bucket of what actually happened and as wild as it can actually be. It's pretty crazy. It's like a traveling carnival. It's really like being a carny sometimes.
Yeah, I'm currently on year 6 of 8, possibly 12 on this one. Um, so it's interesting on this side, experiencing, as a band member, going through it, and then being as a band parent, and then being in the boosters, and on the board, and just it gets interesting. But outside of that, no, it was fairly calm.
Yeah, we'll go with that. But from one chaotic carnival world to another, obviously Georgia Tech was off this past week, and just like the good young gentlemen they are, we didn't hear not one nefarious tale over the week, which means good things happen. People got healthier. They got a chance to study their opponent for a little longer, which I don't think is going to matter. But some good things happened. I don't see any bad things that happened. Unlike on the campus of the Tar Heels, that I couldn't tell you how they played this year because the circus around them and their head coach has absolutely just took the torch and ran with it. The latest is that one of Belichick's assistants, have been suspended for um, giving too much of a gift or help to a player. I thought under the new rules there wasn't really such a cap, but I guess he overextended or something. And then there's this wild rumor that UNC could potentially be working on a buyout to get him out the door. And while I don't think that's very valid, I think he'd at least stick out the year. Uh, yeah, what is your take on what is going on up there in Tar Heelville?
I think maybe they got a little overzealous there. Hey, we got this, coach that's done a lot in the NFL. I think things could be good, and they find out it's just not matching up how they wanted to. Um, but looking at reading some of the things, it'd be a lot of money for him to walk. I think it's like the way his contract's written is he can walk himself with like a $1 million buyout. If they fire him, it's a $3 million.
Hmm.
So it's interesting. It's got to go in there, and as you mentioned, the one of the assistants is a cornerback coach for extra benefits. Um, whatever going on there.
Yeah,
Um,
whatever that.
but yeah, so things are a little unraveling there underneath the coach. Um, Now they're looking. Some say there could be a buyout. Some say they're not looking at it. But it's just little rough patches there going on in North Carolina there.
I mean, the way I'm looking at it, I'm looking at the standings. They're 0-1 in conference play. So what? FSU is 0-2 and Boston College is 0-3. And Boston College is a mess, but FSU is the number 25th ranked team in the country, and they're 0-2 in their own conference. It's the only loss that they have. But UNC at 0-1, they're 2-3 overall. So they played 7 games of, or no, so they played 5 games of the 12. So if they can win 4 of the next 7, they're in a bowl game. Doesn't sound like a lost season to me. If it were me, I would. I don't know if the school has to say this because I don't think Belichick's doing it on purpose. I think it's people around him that are stirring it up. Probably the media. Sometimes the media is guilty of doing that. In fact, a lot of times, I think they just should probably say, "Hey, let's try to just lay low and get through this year and try to make it to a bowl game, and we'll evaluate after that if we think we should continue or if you want to continue or anything like that." But I think it would be completely dumb to try to get him out of there now because if you think you're a circus now, when you get rid of the ringleader, that place is going to be a mess.
Yeah, I mean, it's very hard when you want to if you try to get rid of your head coach. At this point, um, it's very hard to kind of bounce back unless you have the right, key players that you want. And I don't know that they're really ready to do so.
Mm-mm.
They do get a bye week this week to kind of figure out some things.
Ooh,
But
which would be a good
their
time to
remaining,
fire somebody.
yeah, there's that. But their remaining schedule is completely ACC. The remaining 7 games are all ACC games. But you do have one of those being Virginia. You have Syracuse that could do something. Um, and then
Yeah,
their final 3 games are all those Carolina games. And the Wake Forest, Duke, NC State to finish out your season. So it's not great schedule. I mean, if they
no.
really want to put stuff together, I mean, they could do it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's just where their mindset is you know, can we get through this little hump, at least make it through the year, and then kind of just go from there. Um, like I said, a
Yeah,
few more wins, and they can make a ball game, but it's going to be a tough road ahead.
and in all honesty, you kind of if you're one of those people that don't want him around, then you kind of want him to not make a bowl game because if he makes a bowl game, he makes a pretty good argument for bringing him back next year. And that's I don't think he's done that bad of a job. He's learned very quickly that college and pro is a very different game. He's had to figure out the transfer portal that I don't think he's quite figured out yet, but it's only year one. I think he's doing okay for what it is, but also is his head in it? Is his heart in it? Does he really want to do this, or was just the best option until the pros come available again next year, or did he just want a new challenge? I mean, that's kind of what it comes down to is what does he want out of all this? Because honestly, I don't think he's doing that bad. It could be a lot worse. He could like I said, he could be Boston College, who's 1-4 and they're already 0-3 in the conference, so they're all but done.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I mean, after what he's done, what he did in New England, sometimes maybe he's just like, I still want to do some coaching, but it just took something that was available. Thought we could do this. Maybe it's kind of the thing that we had the problem with, it. Maybe the players just aren't relating to him as well.
Yeah,
Like what we went through for a couple of years, it's like 3 or 4 years. Um, and it's just not clicking right. Sometimes it works. Deion Sanders is doing fine in Colorado. He figure out how to do those. Um, it's just maybe it just isn't the one where it needs to be.
yeah, absolutely. Is it Stanford that's in the ACC, or are they Big Ten?
They're ACC.
They are ACC. Okay, because
Yeah,
I was
we
just
added
seeing.
California. We added California and Stanford. and
I
then
was just
SMU.
seeing that one of their former students donated $50 million. One of their former players donated $50 million to the team. Um, I could tell you his name, and probably even if you went to school with him in 1964 when he graduated, probably still won't remember who Bradford M. Freeman is. Chance I'm related to him when you get into that. He's probably cousin or uncle to Morgan. If we get into all those, him and Freddie probably go fishing together. But the main thing about this, apparently he's a big donor anyway. So the fact that he gave 50 million, I don't think the world's biggest thing. I don't know what this guy does for a living, but like every school has these people like that, and it's kind of what you want to instill in having people go to your school because they care about your school. But this whole you can transfer every year thing is taking away I grew up a fan of the Yellow Jackets. I only wanted to be a Yellow Jacket, when I got into college. Well, now they're all chasing the money and the deals, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, but there's no pride in playing for a team anymore. It's basically like a job where it's like, well, if I get tired of Taco Bell, I can go to KFC. If I get tired of KFC, I can go to McDonald's. If I get tired of McDonald's, I mean, you can just keep going down the line. Well, I didn't like the way they did this, so I'm going to go to this other place. And it's like, well, after a while, you're just kind of chasing your tail. So I want them to fix this NIL so that, you know, not just so a player will give somebody 50 million, but so that, people that actually graduate from schools actually care enough to give back or to come back and spend their time and help the school out. I mean, I think that's what Brent Key is doing here at Tech is he's making people proud to be a Yellow Jacket and want to stay for multiple years as opposed to going, well, I'm just going to bounce to whoever's the best deal or whoever's going to let me play the most.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, this Bradford guy, he's a conservative political fundraiser. So a man knows how to get some money up and put back, and apparently he's a philanthropist as well. So I mean, definitely is a guy who would want to put back to his school, and definitely I agree with you on Brent Keys, and a former player, and who understands the system and instilling in the system, and um, so yeah, definitely wagging, putting it back and trying to bring that Georgia Tech, that you want to be here, you want to do things, you want to do things, and it's great. So yeah, I definitely agree there.
See who is that's what I thought. Their interim coach. I mean they're 2-3. Once again, they're in similar boat to they only got to win 4 games of the next 7. That's not that bad. But Frank Reich is the coach out there. I think he's a solid coach. He did some good stuff in the NFL. They've got Andrew Luck, who is the general manager out there. I mean, it seems like they're doing okay. They need to find a full time coach. They've got some issues, but like I said, Georgia Tech doesn't have those issues.
Yeah, yeah, that's a man with an interesting name there. Um, I always found Frank Wright to be interesting first and last name, knowing that's what the Germans named France when they occupied it back in the 40s. So, but yeah, I mean, he's done things in the NFL. Andrew Luck's done things in the NFL as a player. So I mean, they understand the game.
Yeah,
But again, it's connecting with your players and understanding at this level. Because connecting with an NFL player and connecting with a college player, there's two different things. A mindset. So it's, I'm here in school and looking to your future. Once you've made the NFL, it's, staying there. You've done those things and you're playing. It's just a completely different mindset. So, I mean, they're, no, like you said, they're 2-3, so, they could get a few wins, but again, they gotta kind of figure things out. Um,
yeah,
or clearly, us being 5-0, we've kind of figured things. We've seen appear to have figured some things out this year.
yeah. Seem to uh seem to be on the right side of things when you need to be. Speaking of which,
Yep.
our Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, number 13 overall in the polls, by the way, are going to host the Virginia Tech Hokies the 2-4 Virginia Tech Hokies, but they're always dangerous. They always play Tech really, really tough. That is going to be this Saturday at 3:30 on the ACC network. Georgia Tech is a 14.5 point favorite. I think that is a little rich for the game, but I mean, I said before we came on here, I think they're going to be able to cruise to victory. I don't think it's keeping everybody healthy and it's keeping Virginia Tech from getting too close. And if you can keep it, keep them 10 points away or so, I think you're in a good spot. But I don't see where Georgia Tech is going to have much of an issue with Virginia Tech this week.
No, I think in years past, it's always been kind of a flip-flop with the
Yeah.
Virginia teams on how we play, how they play. But I think the way we're playing or they're playing, that yeah, I agree. I don't really see an issue this week.
No. How do you see this game playing out then?
Like I said, I know 14 and a half is a lot. So no, I'm gonna keep it a little under that. I'll say 31-20 Georgia Tech.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably pretty close to where I have it. I would say, yeah, I don't think they score more than that. Just for the sake of being different, I will say, I will say, man, that's just a good number. I like that one. I will go 31. Better yet, 34. I'll go 34-20, which will still keep it under the 14 and a half. 34-20, because I don't think they score more than 20, and 34 is just a little bit better number. So I'll go 34-20 there, Georgia Tech with the win. I think Philo is going to get some playing time. I think some other people are going to get some playing time. It would be a really good time to rest Haynes King, maybe second half, just for the sake of keeping him healthy because you do have some bigger games coming up. And I would play hard, but I wouldn't push myself all that much. Hopefully, you don't have to.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree there. I mean, it's always good when you can rest your players a little bit, keep them from possible injury. So that'll be good if we can have that.
Yep, absolutely. We'll do what we normally do. I don't have last week's picks in front of me. I'm sure we both did spectacular in them as we always do. Um, I'll let you pick two games, and I will pick two games as well. They can be ACC. They can be anywhere on the board.
Okay. Um, Really interesting matchup. 12 p.m. SEC matchup. Alabama, Missouri. This one's at Missouri, and I wanna see the Tide go down again. So I'm gonna take Missouri at home.
That's definitely interesting because I'm kind of in a similar boat. It's not that I want Alabama to do bad. It's just that boy, this game being in Missouri just sits right there. Missouri, am I not mistaken that they are? Um, yeah, they are 5-0. I thought there were four teams in the SEC that are 5-0, and neither one of them are Georgia or Alabama, which is interesting.
Right.
It's Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Missouri, and I don't remember the other one. But yeah, I like Missouri at home. I know I got to agree with you that it's just the right kind of time for Alabama to go up to Missouri and not be able to take on the storm there with the Tiger fan base. Maybe Alabama proves us all wrong, but I just feel like it's setting up as almost a trap game for Missouri to win this one. So I will take Missouri as well.
Yeah.
Let's see. If you have your next game, go ahead.
Um,
Ooh,
there's a couple of good
there are
matchups. Like,
there are some interesting ones this week.
yeah, we got the number three, number seven, Oregon, Indiana, at 3:30.
That's the one I just went past, and I was like, that and they're both undefeated. I was like, that's interesting.
It's 5-0, both teams 5-0. But it is Oregon at home. Um, I think this week I'll pick this game, and I'll take Oregon will win at home.
All right, so you've got just had that game. Where was it? Indiana at Oregon. Man, can I make enough of an argument for who has Indiana faced this year? Have they faced anybody close to Oregon? Because I know who I picked on the Hunker Down show for this game earlier in the week. Let's see if I change it for this one. They
They
have faced Iowa,
no,
Illinois. They ran over Illinois.
yes, Illinois the only loss, but the other ones
Uh,
are
Indiana
big.
State. They had a really tough battle with Kennesaw State, and then they beat Old Dominion early on. Man, I saw some of that KSU game. Um, man, who was Oregon face? That's Here's the other thing. Oregon beat Penn State last week. They beat Oregon State, Northwestern, Oklahoma. Yeah, Oregon's going to win this. Yeah, Oregon has
Yeah,
faced a way tougher schedule, and they are motoring people. They are boat racing people. So,
yeah. I mean,
yeah, if Oregon beat Penn State in Penn State last week at home, Indiana, they don't stand a chance. I don't see where they can pull that off.
yeah. It's a couple weeks
Where's
ago,
North?
but
Where There it is. Yep. Mostly because I'm going to homer out a little bit on it. But first game I'm going to pick is number 15 Michigan at USC. They are both 4-1, both at a kind of critical part in their season. People still don't believe in Michigan, and people are still waiting to believe in USC, even though they're 4-1. The fact that they're both 4-1 tells you that both these teams are legit and they are good. They're probably both right around the 10 to 15 mark as far as best teams in college. USC at home is going to be really tough, but as I said, I'm going to homer out a little bit and give me Michigan to probably win by a field goal.
yeah, I like there. You know, they've played Nebraska, they played Wisconsin. You know, their only losses, you know, Oklahoma, who's above them, but it wasn't too bad of a loss. It was like a 11-point loss there earlier in the season. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with it. I agree with you there. I'll take Michigan as well.
And then I found an ACC game, and it is not the one that people would probably think I would pick because this Saturday on the ACC network at 7:30 p.m., Dabo Swinney and the Clemson Tigers all but have their season on the line at 2-3 against number 1-4 Boston College, who I just talked about a few minutes earlier. Um, Boston College loses this, their season's practically done. Clemson loses this and goes to 2-4, and it'll take everything Dabo can do to get them to a bowl game. If they don't make a bowl game, I think his seat gets a lot hotter. I do think Clemson is going to win this game just because Boston College is the bigger mess. But if Dabo goes up there and lays an egg against Boston College, boy, it's going to get really, really warm out there in South Carolina.
Yeah, I like that. Now this one is at Boston College, and
Yes.
just for the sake of it, I'm going to take Boston College to give Clemson another loss. Just because the way the season's looking, that would just be something that would happen to.
Yeah. So you hear that, Dabo Swinney and Dabo Swinney fans? John wants you fired. He is going. He woke up and chose violence and chaos. He wants Dabo Swinney out.
If you understand Georgia Tech, we have the words the good, the bad, the good. Georgia's the bad, and Clemson's the ugly. So we will always want Clemson to lose.
And it's not like Dabo won't find a job somewhere. I promise you, he'll be
Right.
coaching Florida or something next year. I promise.
Yeah, they'll find something. Somebody will need a coach. I mean, UNC might need a coach. Just go down the road.
Oh, we got time to debate that. Wow. Just think. Let's say Belichick makes it to the end of the year, and let's say they win 5 games and they don't make a bowl, and UNC goes, you know what? Think we're going to cut our losses. We're going to have Michael Jordan go and pay your exit clause, get you out of here, and or better yet, we're going to have Nike do it since they sponsor us still because of the jump man. So Nike's going to pay you to get out of here, and we're going to bring in Dabo Swinney, who's going to trade that orange for the powdered blue. Woo, man! I At some point we may want to go like dig a trench around South Carolina and push them further out toward Bermuda because I don't know if I want to be close enough to that war.
Nope, I'm good over here toward Alabama. We'll stay this way.
Yeah, yeah.
I,
I'll deal with the Crimson Tide and the War Eagle out here, way over that turf war that would happen out there.
right.
But yeah, I looked at that and I was like a 2-3 team and a 1-4 team, and the 1-4 team, like you said, it wouldn't surprise me if Boston College won at home. But man, Clemson just cannot lose that because they were going to be so far behind the 8 ball at 2-4 that yeah, there's going to be a particular head coach's head that is going to start getting called for if it's not already if they're at 2-4 halfway through the year.
Yeah, it's not something that Clemson has experienced in a while. And I mean, what they're looking at, it's just like, okay, what has happened this year? What is going on in the ACC?
Oh, it's the thing is it's real simple. I think I've said it on this show or I've said it on Hunker Down. I said on one of them. I think it was on the UGA show because Jake echoed it or Jake said it and I agreed with it. Dabo can't figure out the transfer portal. He's doing okay recruiting. He's recruiting in the Carolinas. He's getting some Georgia, some Florida kids, some Texas kids, California, New York. He's getting some of the bigger kids when he needs them. But he can't get the free agents right, which is basically what the transfer portal is. Like if he was in the NFL, he's one of the best drafters there ever was, but he can't sign a free agent to save his life, and it might cost him his job up there because and that's going to hurt him going somewhere else is not being able to land the big fish.
Yeah, definitely. I think over the kind of they rise, kind of mediocre rise, mediocre, and then players are just like, I just don't want. No, that's too little unstable. You look at teams like Tech, where it's like, okay, we've had some rough years, but we build on it. We're building on it. We're building something, and they're like, yeah, we can be a part of that, and that's why we get so many players. It's like, okay, we can do that. You know,
You
It's,
you could argue that Dabo's best years had to do with the two players that I'm going to throw out here because Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence aren't walking through that door. They're not walking through that door. They're not walking through any of those doors. If you're not going to land one of those type of fish, you kind of get the DJ Oungaleles and the Cade Klubnik. Isn't that who they got now?
yep,
Man, I just earned myself a cookie if I got that right because I for sure had forgotten his name, which goes right back to it. It's not that the kid's bad. Maybe the scheme doesn't fit. I mean, there's so many things that it really could be, but I've been up at Clemson for 2 different games. I saw them play, I think, NC State, where they completely ran over them. And I sat way up top where birds flew underneath where I was sitting when they faced UGA at night up there. That place is hopping when they're doing well. Right now, you might could get a ticket for $10.
yep. No, it's interesting. I mean, in the years past, where they destroy us, and
In fact,
then
you know what?
oh,
Let's look what tickets are going for because it's on one of these apps. I think. Um, Maybe not. Um, okay, tickets as low as $42. Okay, that's not too bad. But that's
yep,
also through Vivid Seats, which apparently is what uh, they're using.
yep,
Secondary market, or you find a season ticket holder that may. I mean, this game's an away game, but yeah. So okay, so that's Boston College still getting 42. Hey, good on them.
Yeah.
Now it makes me want to go. When's the next Clemson home game?
Hmm. Well, next week.
Next week?
I'm guessing. Yeah. I
Oh,
mean,
they are. SMU's coming in next week. Oh my goodness.
yeah. So you got the team that did really well last year. The one that came in like a wrecking ball.
Tickets as low as
That's
$34 right now for that
that's
game. That's
I don't know, would be a bet.
$9 $8. That's $8 less than Boston College.
Hmm.
What am I doing? Oh yeah, I'm definitely booked that day. I can't go up there then. I was about to say, what am I doing that day? I'm not right up there and see that game. Nope,
Hmm.
cannot do it on that day.
Well,
Um,
ever
but
free.
yeah, I think we have exhausted everything we can possibly get into this week. We look for a good victory coming up on Saturday. And any final word before we get out of here?
No, I think looking for a good weekend. We'll got a high school game tomorrow night, and then that Georgia Tech game Saturday. So I hope a very good weekend.
I hope it's a good weekend as well. I will be calling college hockey the next 2 evenings, so that will be a lot of fun. Home opener for KSU. In case you guys are up in the Kennesaw area, just drop on by and say hello. I promise you, it's a good time, and they're a really good team. But we reached the end of Up with the White and Gold. He's GaTechJon Watts. I'm Jeremy the Impact York. We will see you guys next time. Deuces, gooses, go Tech.
Go Jackets.